Welcome to Season 5 of My Wife the Dietitian, a fun, evidence-based weekly podcast about nutrition and healthy living.
On today's show, we're talking to Kelsey Kunik, who joins us to discuss the world of granola bars. We look at protein bars, fiber bars, energy bars, and a host of others. Stay with us to find out which one is right for you.
Enjoying the show? You can help others find it and enjoy it too by giving us a 5-star rating or review. If you feel like reaching out to us with a question or comment, you can send us an email at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit our website at mywifethedietitian.com, as well as our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy the show. Welcome to My Wife the Dietitian. Hello, Sandra.
Hi, Rob.
How's it going?
I'm excited about interviewing Kelsey Kunik today from Graciously Nourished.
Now, what are we talking about today?
Oh, well, we all eat granola, protein, and fiber bars. And actually, more of us, I think, need to eat salad bars. We all need more veggies throughout our day. And I see that over and over again with clients. That's the area to improve on in our daily intake. But a lot of us do bring granola bars and protein bars and fiber bars home to the family for school lunch boxes, for, after school snacks or driving in the car. We all have granola bars tucked away in our backpacks and in our work satchels. So, today is a great example of what Kelsey does in terms of product reviews. And we break it down. Like, we are looking at specific granola bars that are on the shelves, like Pure Protein, Made Good, Cliff Bars, and Fiber One, to name a few, and looking at the criteria and looking at the ingredients and who are these specific bars for and what is healthy about them, what is something to be desired for all of them. So it's a great interview, and I'm super excited to get Kelsey's opinion on some of these different granola bars.
Yeah, I thought they were all the same. And I'm sure I'm not alone. And it's great to sort of see that they are a little bit different and hear the explanation behind that. And hopefully this episode will help some other people as well, sort of decipher the maze of granola bars that's out there.
And it's nice that Kelsey's a mom of 2 young ones, like 7 and 9, and is navigating this world also with her busy family and trying to get healthy snacks into her kids' lunch boxes and into the week. So it's a great perspective coming from someone who's living this.
Exactly. Yeah, so we encourage you to stick around and listen to our interview with Kelsey, and I'm sure you will learn something. So we'll be right back with Kelsey Kunik.
We're here with Kelsey Kunik, dietitian. And Kelsey, please tell the listeners who you are and who you help in your work and what you do.
Yes. Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm a registered dietitian and a health journalist, writing really about all things health, wellness, nutrition, and food, but also with a platform that's really based in kind of that all foods fit mentality and helping people really take the confusion out of wellness and get down to the basics, things that are a little more simple for us to apply.
Oh, I love that. People need that in this landscape of the social media and the confusion and all the myths, the TikTok, ideas. And yeah, that is great. Keeping it simple and all foods fit and reducing confusion for people. I love that. That's a really good, that's a good mission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not always easy, but definitely needed. Like you said, in just kind of the world that we are in right now, where there's so much misinformation and just so much out there adding to nutrition noise. And it's really so confusing for people. So
Yeah.
It is a blessing to be able to, explain things in a way that's easier for people to understand, or really just get people down to like the basics that really matter instead of focusing on the things that aren't really moving the needle quite as much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The trends that come up out of nowhere. We heard some crazy stuff lately too. Sandra was meeting with someone yesterday and they're like, yeah, someone told me to eat, I don't know, it was this weird combination of stuff that they're supposed to eat. And there was some magical thing that happens to you when you eat these two foods together. And I'm like, what? Where does this stuff come from? These crazy TikTok things. I mean, half of your job as dietitians, I'm guessing, is just undoing all the things that people have learned on the internet.
Yeah.
Right?
That's exactly right. And to no fault of their own either. Like it's always, wanting to relay that it's not necessarily someone's fault they believe these things, because it's so convincing, the messaging that's out there. Like, why would we not? I mean, even as a dietitian, sometimes I have to look stuff up and be like, that can't be right, but like, let me check.
Right.
Very convincing how people are like, how, some people can be very convincing. So
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I sometimes wonder like how humans ever ate before social media. I mean, how did they know what to do and what to eat?
Right. Yes.
I'm just joking, of course. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it feels like it's because a lot of people, like clients, will come to me and kind of not know what to do. Like, I do not know how to eat properly. And obviously I'm doing the wrong things because I'm not healthy. And so it's interesting how there's so much out there that it's like boggled people's minds and they just don't know how to eat anymore.
Yeah. And I think I started seeing clients. I didn't see clients for quite a long time. I was really just doing a lot of health journalism. And then last year started seeing just a small handful of clients. And one of the most common things people had said to me was, I know what to do, I just can't do it. And within, like, by the end of the first session, it was like very apparent that they actually did not know what to do because they had so much information that was all contradicting, and like none of it was actually the like basic important stuff that you had to, like the foundational stuff they didn't have. They had all the little extras, the things that might make these like minuscule differences here or there, but the basics just weren't there.
Totally. I see that too. You're right. And just thinking that is what they need to do, but they just don't know how to do it. And yeah, it's, and like reading your blog, I love it. Nutrition Made Simple. And I looked at one part of your website where it was healthy product picks, and and your website's called Graciously Nourished. We'll link this in the show notes for people. But I love the healthy product picks because it's very, very practical, and people can go there and like look at, for instance, like I want to actually focus in on the granola bars and the protein bars, because that is something that most people do include in their, snack regime, or, their food in the week for either their kids or themselves, if they're active or if they're working out, or even if they just, need to eat on the run kind of thing. Eh? Rob, do you use protein bars sometimes?
Yeah, I think they're a great concept. I mean, you just throw it in your pocket or have one in the glove box of your car or your backpack, or they're great for lunches and all that. The concept is great, but I agree that sector of the grocery store, I guess, is so confusing. I find myself standing in that aisle and it's half the aisle is all different granola bars. I'm like, I don't know. Do I want high carbs or high protein or low fat or no sugar, or so many different options.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. All these bars. And I know a lot of them, when you stand in the aisle, it kind of looks like so many bars and products have like this health halo around them, where it's like with the packaging or what's on the labels or different words that are used, where you're like, oh, this must be good for me. And I think one of the reasons I, kind of gravitated towards those in my healthy product picks, there's other things I've covered as well, but really robustly these bars, is because there's so many different kinds and they have so many different claims, but different ones are good for different people or different uses. And I think for people to understand that is really important.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of that, like, what are some of the criteria that you look at on the label or the like ingredient list to guide people for healthier options?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to preface this by saying I don't think there is a bad choice. You know, as you stand in the aisle, they all look healthy because they all have these claims and these colors and whatever else. If you look online, every single one of them is garbage because that is what every like health influencer is telling us. But when you actually look at what is in each of these bars, they can be really helpful for different people in different reasons in, you know, specific scenarios. So one thing, you know, and one thing to preface too is like, I don't advocate eating these all the time. Like, it's not like every day, multiple times a day, we're living off protein bars or granola bars. And so for that reason, like, I don't think we need to be always so nitty gritty, focused on exact ingredients. But if we look at the nutrition label, that's where I think we can figure out one that's going to be good for our particular use.
I agree totally. Because it's the ingredients where you get the real goods. Like, you can actually see what it's made out of. Like, what's the first ingredient? What's the second? What's the third? Because then that kind of, you know, that's the bulk of what the bar is. And if it's a granola bar, protein bar, candy bar, even, you know, like, I feel like sometimes they're dressed up like candy bars, you know, I mean, they're like candy bars that are kind of like health halo claims. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's, the claims are tricky. I mean, now they're saying, oh, have whole grains made with real fruit, or, you know, like, well, gluten-free, obviously, that's definitely a claim that would appeal to people that are, you know, either celiac or on a gluten restricted diet. But yeah, there's so many different claims on the front. So it makes the landscape a little more confusing for people, like in the grocery store, like, what do I want? And, you know, the Cliff Bar was one of the, you know, one of those original protein bars. And I know you did a review of the Cliff Bar. And so what did you find with that one?
Yeah, so Cliff Bars, those ones, I would say they get a lot of flack for being like a candy bar, right? Because there really isn't a lot of protein in Cliff Bars. And there is a lot of carbohydrates and even like added sugars in Cliff Bars. But Cliff Bars are not meant to be like the, you know, snack for someone who's sitting at their desk all day and eating like robust meals. They're not meant to be a protein bar that's like just helping you hit your protein goals. Like, Cliff Bars are specifically made for people who are doing like endurance. So say it doesn't have to be like an athlete, right? But say like you're going on a hike or you're going on a bike ride, like having this like high concentration of carbohydrates that are not super quick acting. Like, you're not going to eat one of those when you're running because it's got like oats and fiber and it's not going to settle well. But if you're hiking, you're on a bike ride, you're doing something that's like, you know, more exerting over a long period of time. You know, maybe if you're getting ready to go for a run or you're getting ready to do a workout like after work and you want something to eat on the way, you know, an hour or so before, that could be a good option because you're getting a, you know, good supply of carbohydrates.
Love it.
That you're then going to go, you know, burn through. But if you're eating a really good lunch, an hour later, you're like, oh, I just kind of want a little snack. A Cliff Bar is not going to be a good option, you know, but
it's kind of like a bowl of oatmeal, right?
Yeah.
In a way, kind of heavy and filling and sort of long range kind of energy.
Yeah. I would compare it to, definitely compare it to that. You know, there's obviously they have extra ingredients, but you can put extra stuff in oatmeal too. Like your
for
chocolate,
sure.
your sugar, whatever.
Ron does, for sure. He adds lots to it. More like nuts and seeds and like wheat germ and like different, not necessarily chocolate and stuff, but
flavors.
And there's nothing wrong. Like, I like a couple chocolate chips in my oatmeal. I'm not dogging that.
Me too. I've just recently started to do a little dark chocolate chips in the overnight oats. So good. It just makes you like excited to eat your breakfast, right?
Right.
Oh yeah. No, that's awesome. I love that. Actually, that is super that's a really good kind of direction for people in terms of the Cliff Bars, for instance, just that they're more like for the long acting people that are doing kind of an endurance activity, like a hike, like you said, or going for a long bike ride, or maybe they're traveling and they're going to be walking, like sightseeing, and they won't have time to stop for a snack, like a proper meal. And yeah, that's awesome. That's a great hey, Rob.
Yeah, I think that's originally how they were marketed, but there's just so many more bars on the market now that they just all blend together, and everyone just assumes every bar does the same thing.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Yeah, Clif Bars, even the name, I think there's a person on, like, their graphic on the label is a guy like
on a cliff,
rock climbing or something.
They cannot drive the point home any harder, but
no,
people still.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh, so the flack that's online, because I haven't really seen that, like kind of bad press for Clif Bars, but it's basically it's not as high in protein as like the pure protein bar, for instance, like a different like protein bar. Is that what I didn't realize that? Yeah,
and they have a lot of added sugars. So I mean, honestly, I'm probably like one of the only positive reviews. If you go to like page 1 looking for like Clif Bar reviews, because people really hone in on the added sugars, and that it's like lower in protein, and it just, because protein gets like the gold star, right? Like everybody thinks protein is 100% the best, but when you look at a Clif Bar, like, yes, it has the added sugar, but in some circumstances, like, hanging from the cliff, like the guy is on the package, you want the added sugar. Like, you need that. If you're going on a long hike, you need that, whether it's added or it's from a whole source. But, if all you can fit in your pack is a bar, like, versus like, a bunch of fruit or like other things that you could get sugar from, like, so it makes sense in that bar. Is it right for everybody in every circumstance? No, but I don't think that saying like it's a bad option is fair.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right. A lot of times there's probably the majority of the population who are eating like protein or granola bars are sitting at their desk, they're driving in their car, they're taking their kids to and fro, they're working through lunch, and they're not necessarily hanging off a cliff.
Yeah. Exactly. Or the equivalent, you wouldn't find me hanging off a cliff. But.
Exactly. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. So, with some of the other ones, like the pure protein is one that's kind of, I've seen recently. It was, I don't know. I think I bought it just to see how it tastes. And it was kind of it tasted like a brownie, like a chocolate brownie. Have you seen that? I think you did a review on the pure protein.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you find with that one in terms of like, who would that be for more in terms of like the population that it's kind of marketed towards?
Yeah. So those are definitely higher in protein. Like you're getting, 18, 20 grams of protein per bar. Wow. They're a lot lower in added sugars. So, people who are like wanting to do lower, maybe not necessarily like low carb, but people are wanting to just have more protein, lower carbs. Maybe you're, eating it to be full between your meals or after a, weightlifting session or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But so funny thing with pure protein bars, I think they taste delicious, but I cannot eat them. And I know a lot of people who also cannot eat them.
Really?
Because they have a lot of sugar alcohols in them. Like that's how they get their sweet flavor.
Yes.
For me, it's upsetting to my stomach. Like I get bloated and crampy if I eat stuff like that. So there are some people who can't tolerate them. I've talked to a lot of people who don't realize it's these that they can't tolerate, but they'll have, those digestive issues because they are quite high in added sugar, not added sugars, but sugar alcohols.
Right. Which ends up going right through you, kind of like it's you don't get the calories from those sugars because of the way they work in the body. So yeah, you do. There are digestive issues, possibly kind of loose stool, or maybe like you said, bloating and cramping.
Yeah, kind of like if someone, it's what I like if someone who is lactose intolerant eats lactose, right? It's like the same, like they don't have the enzymes to digest it. none of us have the enzymes to digest sugar alcohol. So like,
Right.
but for some people, you know, their systems just are a little more sensitive and don't tolerate it quite as well. And different types too, like some people can tolerate different, you know, one kind of sugar alcohol and not another. So I think that's something to just be aware of. Like if you do have a sensitive digestive system, some of these protein bars, like pure protein, could potentially cause more like cramping, bloating, gas, diarrhea, things like that.
Oh, that's good to know.
What would those be called on the ingredient list? Like the sugar alcohols, is there something people should look for?
Yeah, it'd be anything that ends in OL.
Yeah,
So,
mannitol, sorbitol.
mhm.
Right, I see.
Yeah.
And then the OS is like a more not a liquid type sugar, like the fructose and glucose, and because that's a sugar as well, right?
Yeah, but those would count towards added sugars.
Right.
Unless it's like well, I guess some artificial sugars also end in OS. But
the what did you call them? Sugar alcohols.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and most labels will have them listed in the nutrition facts too. So you don't necessarily have to like, you know, go through the ingredients and try to find the OL. It'll be under the carbohydrates. They'll have sugar alcohols
right.
listed.
They do. You're right.
Oh, wow.
I'm just looking at one now. That's right. It actually lists the sugar alcohols because if someone's on like a low FODMAP diet, they would definitely probably want to avoid that pure protein, like in terms of because it's in it's a FODMAP, like the sugar alcohols.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, some people can tolerate some things and not others when it comes to things like sugar alcohols. So I think just being really aware, like if you had one and then you notice symptoms, like it was probably that.
I think you're right. I think that's happened to me too when I ate that granola or that pure protein. That's funny that you said that. Holy, oh my gosh. Because I do think, you know, a lot of people maybe aren't, if they're too busy to have like a full lunch with protein, say they haven't had their like portion of protein at lunch, they might use the pure protein either for lunch or as a snack later. So I see my clients, that's how they would use that protein bar. So yeah, it might cause some digestive issues. So that's really good to know.
Yeah, but for a lot of people, that can be a really good strategy, especially if, I gotta say, like after every meal, it's not even after every meal. I'm like planning it into most of my meals where I'm going to end it with something sweet, just to like a little sweet thing at the end, you know? And sometimes it'll be just like a little square of chocolate or something like that. But if you are someone like, say you have a salad that just doesn't have a lot of protein in it, and you like that little sweet thing, and you have, can a protein bar make sense for where you're at or what you're doing? Like that can totally help round out your meal, help you feel satisfied. It can also provide, the nutrients that you need. Good to do every day? No, but it can be a good option when you're in a pinch.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's exactly. I love that. That's, variety is key. And it's good to not have the same foods like the same meals and snacks, like just like like the whole every day, like during the week, have the same thing. If you know what I mean? I find a lot of clients I work with, that's kind of, well, it's hard. I know life is busy and it's easy just to kind of batch cook on the weekends and then just have the same lunch every day, the same breakfast every day and snacks. So it's, I get it. But like you said, it's kind of maybe not every day, but it would be something like a good strategy for sometimes.
Yeah. And that's like based on what you had just said there, like how it's so much easier to just like be consistent with what you're doing. Something I've really worked with people on is like, if we're doing the same, like, let's change up the protein, or let's change up your grain, or let's change up. So it's like, maybe you're doing a bowl for lunch every day, but like, instead of every day it being, chicken and rice and broccoli, like, okay, this week, let's switch the protein up. This week, let's use a different grain. Let's do just to like, they all have different, proteins. They all have different, other micronutrients and things in them. Same thing with like your grains or your vegetables and stuff. So, and then sometimes, when maybe you ran out, it was Friday, you ran out of chicken for the week and you just had your salad or veggies, a protein bar can slip in there when needed.
Totally. I think that spoken like a true dietitian. Like,
I know.
so awesome.
I know.
Hey, Rob, doesn't that sound familiar?
Problem solving. Yeah. Well, it's so simple when you think of it in those terms, right? I mean, you're sort of breaking food down into categories, your protein and your grains and whatnot. And if you think of it like that, it's like, oh yeah, like I need a protein, I need a different grain, and it makes it simple. But unfortunately, people get stuck in their routines and they don't think that way. And yeah, it's harder for them to be creative.
It is so hard. And the amount of people, when I've made a suggestion like that, have been like, why have I not thought of that?
Right.
It's like, you're too close to it. You're like, just too close to it. You can't see.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They should develop a protein bar, like a granola bar that's called a salad bar, because that's what people are really lacking. Most people I talk to for lunch, a lot of times they're just not getting the veggies, the non-starchy veggies in their day. And that's what they need to actually add, is that salad bar.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the point of like greens powders, but that's a mess, I think. So.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that. So it's a mess just because it's just people think they're getting what they need, but they're not really.
Yeah. I see on social, hear from people, like, it's just like, well, I'm getting my like AG1 or I'm getting my greens powder. And it's like, oh, that's good, but that's not a vegetable.
Right.
Like that doesn't count. You can't not eat a vegetable because you're eating that. Like it's not a swap.
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
Right.
Yeah. That's funny. It's a mess. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Wow. And then looking at Made Good, I actually have one of those packages in front of me. The Made Good, I think you did a review on that. It says organic chewy granola bar, nut and gluten free. Yeah. And the first ingredient is gluten-free oats and then sugar. So what about those ones? What, who would you kind of suggest those ones for?
Yeah. So these, I love that they are like allergen safe, because there's not a lot of bars that are safe for people who have food allergies. So that's like, this bar definitely has that going for it. But in terms of what you're getting out of it, I think what you're really getting is like satisfaction in a small amount of energy, because they're very low in protein. They're very low in fiber. You're not getting a lot out of it. There just isn't a lot of like extra nutrients that you would like to see in a bar, in a packaged food like that. But it can be satisfying. It can, maybe you pair this with a Greek yogurt or something for a snack.
Totally.
In that circumstance, like that could be a really good pairing, and it's low enough in calories that it can be paired with something else for,
totally
a filling snack and not be over the top.
Yeah, absolutely. They're very small. It says one bar, 24-gram weight is 100 calories and 2 grams of fiber, 2 grams of protein, and 6 grams of sugar. So yeah, it is pretty, like you said, it's a very small, I mean, maybe even for kids, like it would be a good, especially if they have, they go to a school that's, there's allergies and, yeah, like you said, it's an allergen safe one.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, since there isn't much protein in the snack, I wouldn't eat it on its own, or in this bar. I wouldn't necessarily eat it on its own and think it's going to like tide you over, much longer than a half hour.
Right.
But it can be, like I said, a good pairing with something else.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I like that idea with the Greek yogurt or maybe some cottage cheese, or, I was thinking fruit, but you're not getting much protein in that either, but at least it could fill you up a little bit until lunch if it's your, for recess, in the morning recess or whatever, or yeah. Good. Oh, okay.
Are they maybe chasing the allergen free kind of market?
Yeah, I think that's their biggest, their biggest selling point is allergen friendly. And, they've got that all over the label. So,
totally.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So like you said too, Sandra, like, to send you with your kids to school, like if you have a classroom that's, peanut free, tree nut free, whatever, it can be so hard to come up with ideas that you just send for your kid. If your kid is not one of the ones that has the allergy. And so something like this could be a good option.
is probably a parent of one of those kids that designed the bar in the first place.
Oh,
That's where a lot of these
sure,
products,
yeah.
a lot of these products come from, right? It's just people in that situation who there's nothing for them, so they create something
out of a need. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
And they
yeah.
are good. Like, they're good tasting bars. So
Oh, yeah.
Well,
they're good.
They're made good, so
exactly. They gotta be.
Smart.
they
I
better
like
be.
it.
They better be
I
good.
like the name. It's awesome. Made good.
Yeah.
And it's very widely available.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Because some of the other ones, I don't think they're as available, although a lot of these are making their way into grocery store chains. And that's what, as Rob said, like the aisles are just like so loaded with like so many different granola bars and protein bars.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It would be good if they divided them into like, these are protein bars, these are fiber bars, these are like allergen free
You
bars.
would need a dietitian
Yeah.
that's part of the inventory
Yeah.
of the grocery store, like to help with, putting placement, like product placement, I think, because
Right.
that takes a little bit of, analysis of.
The Cliff bars though, well, there's some bars are in the health food aisle. And then there's other bars that are just in the, I don't know, like they're in with the cereal in that
Yeah.
aisle. And that aisle's always busy because there's always a bunch of people standing there staring at all the options.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, which one do you want? So yeah, it would be helpful for the flow of the store at least, keep people moving.
Right.
You're
yes.
hilarious, Rob. That's funny. Yes. Wow. Okay. So, what are some healthy convenience snacks that busy parents can actually make as an alternative to granola bars? I mean, part of the appeal, I think, of granola bars are they're very convenient. You just buy them, and then hopefully they're healthy enough for the kids, or they're a good snack for your lunch or whatever. But I'm sure you've counseled people on some different homemade snacks.
Yeah, absolutely. And being a busy parent myself, I'm fully like, how I would love to be able to bake my children homemade snacks every week. That is not happening. So a lot of the things that I recommend is like assembly snacks. So we're, making like trail mixes with like cereal and nuts and dried fruit, or even little chocolate chips, or whatever your kids like, taking that and putting it in like a trail mix. So you've got, where it's not like they're just snacking on cereal or they're just snacking on raisins. You're adding some protein in there, fiber, things like that. So
Yeah,
homemade
love
trail
it.
mixes are always really good.
Totally.
This is a little bit of prep, but my kids absolutely love this, is the, well, one of my children love this. They can't like the same things. I think that's like, if you have two kids, it's like a requirement.
That's
There's like, I'll cut open a date and put like peanut butter and like a chocolate chip on top, and I'll freeze them. He
I love that.
loves them. Yeah.
I used to do that with bananas. I called them banana shooters when the kids were young. And there would be a slice of banana with peanut butter, a raisin, and a chocolate chip. And I'd put them all on a tray like shooters, right?
Yeah.
I'd say, who wants a shooter?
Oh my
And
gosh.
all the kids would come running. And if there's
Shooter.
any parents, well, it's funny because
They
the
go to
kids would
school
go
and
home
tell their
and,
teacher.
yeah, we had banana shooters at the gentleman's house. And they're like, what?
What?
And then I had to explain, but no, they
There's no
were
alcohol,
great little
really?
snacks. Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's,
So, yeah,
I mean,
it's
I
fun.
haven't called them that, but that is popular at my house too. We just do bananas with peanut butter on top, but if I start with the chocolate, I'll never be able to stop. So
Well, yeah. Well, the raisin's good because you get the little chewy sweetness out of it,
Yeah.
because the peanut butter's a little sticky
Mhm.
but yeah, there's lots of different ways you can dress them up.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then, obviously like things like, yogurt, string cheese, a dessert. My kids always like something sweet as like we eat dinner really early. So a snack before bed. I'll do like a yogurt cup, and sometimes like crush up like an Oreo in a Greek yogurt cup or something. So it's like your sweet, you have your cookie, and then you also have your, protein yogurt, and
Yeah.
a little more of a balance instead of just like mowing down on a sleeve of
Yeah, totally.
Oreos,
And
so.
like a nice crunch, like texture, like you're getting the yogurt with that crunch. And yeah, I love it.
Right. So I think sometimes parents are scared. Well, can be scared to plan to feed include those types of foods in a healthy snack. Be like, no,
Yes.
I'm going through this effort and I'm trying to make this healthy snack. But if you can bring in the treat foods that your kids like and make it into something that's going to be more nourishing and
Yes.
provide more for them, I think that that's just a win all the way around.
I
Yes,
love that.
exactly.
I love that. And you know what? That's what the world is. I mean, when they go out into the world and they're going to their friend's house and then they are exposed to foods that they've never seen in their own house, it's kind of like, oh, why don't we ever get these Oreos? Or why? That's what we always had this idea of a wide variety of different foods, like all foods fit. I love that principle because, that's what life is. And then you get to make your choices as you get older. But if you are prevented or prohibited from eating like Oreos, for instance, or those types of treat foods when you grow up in your household, then what happens when you have to make your own choices as, a teenager or young adult? You might go off the we're gonna just go crazy with those types of foods, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it can be, I feel like that sort of environment can often, and not always, and I know I'll preface this by saying we all do the best we can do, right?
Yes,
we just want our kids to be healthy and happy. So it's, not to any parent's fault, but when we do have that environment at home where we're foods are off limits and we're not allowing them, that can either create a lot of anxiety around food with kids where they're fearful of things. They, have a lot of anxiety when those foods do come around. Or it can swing the opposite direction when the moment they get the opportunity, they're going to go crazy on those foods.
Yes.
They may be hiding them and hoarding them because they know they're not going to get them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I often joke that I'll have a cookie or a piece of chocolate or whatever, and I'll say, oh, it's good for my mental health, which it is. It makes you happy, it feels good, but there is an element of mental health when it comes to food and diet. It's not all just about how it affects our bodies physically.
Yeah.
And the whole relationship with food and how we feel about certain foods. That all affects us, from a mental sort of standpoint as well. And it's something that I don't think as parents, I don't think we consider that. We're always focused on, eat your vegetables and don't eat the cake and don't eat the ice cream. And we're creating this kind of good and bad, the negative relationship with food, but we don't realize it. Even though we have good intentions, there's sort of the flip side when we got to think of the mental health aspect of it as well.
Yeah. And I think, I see this all the time working with adults as well, is there's this disconnect where you think that food should be fuel. You think that you should be able to control it. And it's your fault that you can't eat the, quote unquote right way. And there's never because no one's ever been told it's okay that food's emotional. It's okay that you have this, you have these ideas and these beliefs and everything that's shaped around food and shaped around your body and the morality that's added to food.
Yes.
And in society as a whole, that is not talked about. Food is talked about like a number, a prescription. And it is so emotional and so just deeply rooted in our beliefs that until we address that, with so many people I've worked with, until we address that, no changes are ever going to be made sustainably.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, totally. And, I often say to people, food, if we think of we need food, just like we need air, our body needs, the nutrition to function, just like we need air to breathe. And there's no morality about, oh, you don't deserve to eat, or you don't deserve to breathe, or you don't deserve to, it's just crazy how our culture, it's like diet culture for sure. But, it's just been, it's crazy how off the rails we've gotten with the idea of, sinfully delicious ice cream and, the whole morality, guilt-free. And it's it's just, it makes people feel bad. And it like Rob was saying, the good food, bad food, that is something that is so detrimental as kids grow up if they think that, oh, that's bad food. I can't eat that because, you know, it's not allowed in our house, or, you know, it's just, wow, the relationship with food. That's what you said, Rob. You sounded like a dietitian there.
He's been listening to you for a while.
Yeah, it's sinking in finally. Yeah.
Finally, that's hilarious. No, that's so awesome. Oh my gosh, this has been amazing conversation. And so we did mention your website, but where can people connect with you or find you out in the, interweb land?
Yeah, I'm on all the major socials, mostly active on Instagram. So Graciously Nourished, the same as my website.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm on there frequently sharing recipes and ideas and tips and things that I've written and all of that. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and we didn't ask, Rob. Do you want to ask the final question?
I actually have one more thing I just thought we should mention too, when we're talking about the different kind of granola bars or bars, I guess. Granola bar, I guess, is just like the overall term, but what about the fiber ones? Because I know that's sort of a major category that people are looking for with different bars. Is there something that sort of stands out as a good choice with the fiber category?
Yeah, so there's a lot of bars now. Like obviously Fiber One bars are the OGs. Those have been around since I was in high school and realized you shouldn't eat 3 of them at once. Like,
hello.
Yeah. So Fiber One's the OGs, but there's so many bars now, especially plant-based snack bars will tend to be a lot higher in fiber. I feel like it's so common. You kind of need to be careful when you look at them. Like, I do think it's really important when you pick a snack bar to look at the label, because almost all of us need more fiber. However, if you are eating a bar that has, 15 grams of fiber in it, and you're only used to eating 10 grams a day, that's probably not going to be a good day for you.
Good point.
Yeah. So I think that's important to, do a little check on the fiber. Like if you have a bar, if fiber is a goal, I think picking a bar that has at least 3 grams of fiber, maybe like 3 to 6 grams of fiber in it, can be a really good way to supplement your, overall fiber intake. Obviously, we're not relying on bars to get all of our fiber, just because we really want diversity in our fiber sources, but they can be a good way. But yeah, definitely sometimes some of the bars are so packed with fiber, it can be a rough day if you're not careful.
That's a good
point. Yeah, no, I'm so glad that you asked that, Rob. I forgot about that category. It's like a big one too.
Yeah. Well, and I really like the way, and I think maybe the point to drive home with this whole interview is that when you are picking a bar, there are different categories that you should be looking for, and that's maybe how you can narrow down your options. Is what do I need? What am I looking for out of this bar? Am I looking for protein or fiber or whatever? Right. So that's maybe a good help for people to look at things from that perspective.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of people, they look to these bars as a way to stay full, like between a meal, right? I think, yes, a lot of people use them to like fuel exercise, or, maybe they have other specific needs, but for people who are using protein bars or, granola bars, whatever you want to call them, to stay full in between your meals, then I think looking for a bar that has, at least 10 grams of protein and at least 3 grams of fiber is kind of a good benchmark that, the fiber and the protein will work together to help keep you full. And so that can be a good, if you're using it for that reason, say you have lunch at noon, you don't eat dinner till 6, you need something to eat on the way home.
Yeah.
Right.
Looking for at those 2 numbers, like at least 10 grams of protein, 3 grams of fiber can be kind of a good strategy.
I like that rule of thumb. Yeah, that's really smart and a good way for like benchmark or rule of thumb for someone. 10 grams of protein and 3 grams of fiber. That totally makes sense. So it might not, like you said, the fiber bar might totally make your day kind of, you might suffer if you're not used to all that fiber.
Right.
Yeah. Good to know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So when you're going to this is our last question, when you're going to a potluck with family or friends, bringing the kids, or maybe not, like, so whatever, what would you bring for a dish? Not a granola bar.
Yeah,
don't say granola bars.
No, I
Fiber bars for everybody.
Yeah.
There you go. Try these.
Yep, you're all hitting your fiber goals today.
So one of my friends bought X-Lax to a party, and that was really mean because there's one bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
Gave it out as chocolate.
Yeah, that was
Oh
mean.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow, how cruel.
Yeah.
No, I'm always given the responsibility of dessert. So
Oh, nice.
dessert is my thing at every family party.
Mm.
And it's
are you a
never the same
baker?
thing. I do like to bake, and I love baking. I love like experimenting. But I don't have a lot of reason to do it at home in my everyday life. Like I'm not, baking like a 3-tier chocolate cake on a Wednesday.
Right.
So like
Awesome.
every time we have a party, I will take desserts, and it's never the same thing because I love experimenting.
Oh,
Fun.
I love that. That's so cool. So you're always like trying to, because you are like, you always are doing new recipes. You have a lot of recipes on your website, and yeah, that's and you write for food bloggers, and so that is like, that's a passion of yours. It sounds like it's just like baking and putting different ingredients together to make a good baked item.
Yes. And my children are selective, so it's never as fun to cook in like a weekday for them. God bless them, but it's just, I can only make chicken nuggets in so many interesting ways, so
I hear ya. Yep.
yeah. So I love the opportunity to cook for other people, bake for other people, and always trying something new.
Awesome.
Sounds
I
awesome.
like that. That's a great, that's one of my favorite potluck answers, actually, Rob.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good reason to cook, right? And
Yeah.
getting creative. I love it when people are comfortable being creative in the kitchen, because so many people are afraid of like doing the wrong thing or whatever. And I'm just like, just try it. That's how you discover some amazing things sometimes. So
Totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
there you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kelsey, for connecting with us. And we really appreciated you taking your time out of, I know you have 2 young kids, 7 and 9, and life is probably crazy busy. And I'm sure granola bars are in your closet or in your pantry, just like they are in ours.
Absolutely. No, thank you so much. This is so great to be here.
Awesome. Thanks again for joining us, Kelsey. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Bye.
Cheers.
That was a great interview with Kelsey, eh?
Yeah, lots of great information. It's a bit of a gold mine finding someone like that who sort of focuses a lot of her, I guess, just time on looking into those products, reviews, and comparing things, and sharing her results with the public, so that we don't have to do it, because it is confusing. There is a lot of options out there, and it is, for someone without the knowledge to kind of know what they're looking at, it's nice to have someone that's done it for them.
Yeah, I like that she's coming from an objective standpoint and with a dietitian background, so that she can, actually look at different brands and the ingredients. And, it's not like she's paid by the company to say something, and she just is helping the public decide what the different benefits and pros and cons of each product is. And I like that we focus today on the protein, granola, and fiber bars.
Mm-hmm.
I still think there should be a salad bar.
Yeah, that's a funny one. Yeah, someone will do it now. I'll take your idea.
I love Kelsey's approach with feeding families and nutrition.
All foods fit.
Yeah.
That whole, it's great when everyone's kind of on the same page as far as that approach.
Yeah, I think that's a good balanced kind of long-term sustainability approach, as we all have to have a relationship with food for the rest of our lives.
I love when she said, I like ending my meals with just a little bit of something sweet. I'm like, yeah, I'm with you there, girl. I'm totally the same. I'll have a nice big salad for lunch and then snap off a piece of chocolate bar when I'm done, because it's like, I like to have something tasty too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all good. All foods fit.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get her back on the show again, do another product review or talk about something different. And I look forward to when that time comes.
Yeah. In the meantime, you can check out her website
At Graciously Nourished.
.com.
Yeah, and on her blog, we'll link her blog in the show notes, but the blog is titled Nutrition Made Simple, which exactly what it is, to help distill the nuggets of information about each product. And it really helps guide people in their choices in the grocery store.
Yeah, there you go. And you can also find her on social media as well. She's sounds like she's everywhere on social media under the same name. Graciously Nourished. That's hard to say for me. My tongue gets tied around that. I'll get better at it, though. Thanks again to Kelsey for joining us. If you want more information on what we're doing, you can check out our website. It's mywifethedietitian.com. You can fire some questions, maybe for Kelsey, if we get her back on the show, if there's things you want to know or anything in general that you want to know, nutrition related, preferably. You can email those questions to us at mywifetherd@gmail.com. You can also find us on social media, or on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you're liking the show, let us know. You can rate and review. You can leave us comments on our social media. You can email us your comments or anything like that. It's great hearing your feedback. It really helps us keep everything moving in the right direction here. So we'd really appreciate that. We've also got a great newsletter you can join when you're on the website. So be sure to sign up for that. It's a free weekly newsletter. Lots of great information in there. It's worth having a look. And if you're liking the show, I'm sure your friends would too. So be sure to share with them. So that is it for this week. Thanks again to Kelsey for joining us. And we will be back on Thursday with another episode of Nutrition Nuggets. So until then, have a fantastic week. Thanks for joining us today on My Wife the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review, and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.